Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's a great episode of Big Thing. We have a lot to talk about, man. There's so much stuff with whether it's Avatar. Is it performing at the box office the way they thought that it would? Can it still make the big money that we think that it could? James Gunn, man, this guy is going through it right now. So we're going to talk about James Gunn and everything that he's going through on DC. Speaking of DC, The Rock, he's another one going through it. Talking about Black Adam and Black Adam 2 and the status of it and all of that. There's so much to talk about. And you look at 1923. That's a show that ROXY will definitely be talking about in her picks today for the television, what you should be watching. But the show in general is just doing extraordinary things with the ratings, and it cost a lot of money. I don't think anybody is surprised at that, but I don't think Taylor Sheridan even knows what a lot of money is at this point because he's probably sneezing it. The guy is literally programming Paramount Plus with everything he writes. Even if he writes something on a napkin, it becomes a television show, and they're good television shows. So we'll talk about him and everything in general. And that's really, I mean, there's more to talk about. We had a massive interview here on the channel on Tuesday. That's why we didn't have an episode on Wednesday, and it was with Diego Luna. We'll talk a little bit about that, and hopefully you guys have checked that out so far on the channel. It's doing pretty well. I hope you guys can take a look. And that's the majority of it. I think there's more stuff to talk about, but we can get into it. Patreon, if you haven't joined, I'm going to be adding a new tier, and I think ROXY will actually like this tier, and this is going to be in January. But I was talking to PLD about this tier. It's going to be a tier where I'm only going to open it up to 5 people. And I'm essentially going to do a one-on-one interview with the people who sign up, and I'm going to ask them about their lives. I'm going to ask them in general about things the same way I would about anybody that came on one-on-one, and I will give that person that footage. So that's going to be at a tier that opens up in January. It's going to be 5 of those that are available, but I'll be interviewing the same way I interviewed a Diego Luna or when I interviewed anybody, whether it's Sinead DeFries, anybody. So it'll be a half an hour. So anyway, that's a Patreon. So the merch, Sith Council, show some class, big thing. ROXY, I knew when I put this on today, ROXY was going to be mad at me, and I didn't realize why I had done it. Look at this.
Not even repping.
I couldn't find the big thing shirt. I know, I'm sorry, but anyway, all that is up there. So make sure you check that out. We're really growing on the podcast right now, man. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Check it. Check it out. Check this. Check that. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. All right, everybody, let's get into it. It's the big thing. Let's do it. Shoes and beef and beef and beef and shoes and beef. Shoes and beef and beef, beef and beef and beef. Eat and shoes, beef. Just say it. What do you need?
I think your mic's a little hot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Who cares?
You can do the master one on there, and all of ours are a little.
I don't give a shit anymore. Welcome back, everybody. I got me. I got ROXY. Oh, I got Brett.
Look at that guy.
I got all of us. Oh, man. How cool was this?
So cool.
Diego Luna was in studio. The episode is up on the channel right now. Brett took all these creepy photos from this side. No, they're really good. It was awesome. Yeah, he was awesome in general. Got a chance to talk to him. It was a good 20, 25 minutes. And from what I was told, it probably could have gone on a little longer, but what are you going to do? And I would like to thank Perry Nemiroff, who also shot here. And so Perry and I had come to some talking after our live stream. And well, actually a couple months ago, Mary Mauser and Clyde doesn't really have a studio anymore to shoot interviews. And Perry's been doing virtual. So she was like, hey, do you mind, can I use your studio? And I was like, yeah, well, why don't we figure something out? So we figured something out. We had a nice little deal what we're going to do. So Perry and I are going to be working together again with interviews, and Diego Luna was part of that agreement. It was great to see Perry when she was in here. We got a chance to hang out. It was weird. She was working on the couch, and it just took me back to Collider, where she would just sit in the couch and walk by. It was Perry working. It was so comfortable. And again, kudos to Brett for really putting in a lot of effort. Everyone talked about how great the studio was. Like the reps were comfortable. They were sitting there. You should have seen Brett's face. He was so excited to see his like work like be put into use.
So where'd you put everybody?
Go ahead, Brett, tell them.
They were chilling, right? There was 2 reps, and they were sitting, like, one in the yellow chair, one there. And
they're, like, on the couch?
Yeah, just, like, totally, chill. I mean, we offered them coffee and stuff. We had water. It was just, like, it felt legit. And I looked around, and even Perry, like, when you went out to get Diego Luna, she was like, this is really good. Like, great job. And that was just,
it's gotta be a good feeling.
It's amazing, yeah. I mean, it looks, and it's funny because when everybody else isn't here and it's just he and I, we're always like, what do we need to do now? Because we're not. What would you say? I'm gonna guess the number in my head of where I think the studio is, and I think that we'll be on the same page. Where would you say it's at in the number? Well, let me tell. I'm gonna tell.
Percentage-wise?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Roxy. Look away. I'm gonna tell Roxy. You think?
Show me another finger.
Brett, sing like a nonsense song. Into the mic. All right, you ready, Brett?
91%.
Ooh, okay. I would say I agree.
Woof.
I would say I agree with that, but that's not where I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to say 80.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. That's hopeful.
Yeah,
because
I know there's other things you want to do.
So many little things.
Yeah, that's
that,
what I'm saying.
80
is a good number.
The accent lights that I've been messing with, and then I reposition them, and then there's the automated thing where we'll be able to walk in and go, Alexa, turn on just work lights, turn on studio lights and stuff like that.
I think we should marble this table.
We're gonna get rid of this table.
We gotta get rid.
Cool.
Yeah.
I need a purchase.
What do you need?
I need a notepad with a pen to take notes during your intros of the show. I have like 45 follow-up questions every single time.
Oh.
First of all,
yes, go ahead.
I just am so curious how your brain works.
I don't know.
You were like, I interview a lot of people like Diego Luna and Sinead DeFries.
Where it came from?
Well, yeah, so
because I wanted. So that's a great question.
Love her. Where
did that come from? Great question. Because I wanted to let people know inside of that tier that it's not just big celebrities, people that I can talk to. It's friends where you get someone like a Diego Luna, and Sinead DeFries is also a big personality in our space.
She was the first person you thought of?
Because I remember
she's always the first person I think.
I get that.
I remember when I was doing those one-on-one interviews, and I had a bunch of like celebrities on, and I remember thinking to myself back at Collider, going, "Well, I want to change it up a little bit, not just do celebrities. I want to also do people inside of this space that the audience knows as the personalities." And Sinead was the first one that I did.
Yeah,
so that's probably
a
where
good
I went.
one to do.
Yeah, that was probably where I went. And
it was a good one.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. It was long, but like I have since decided to not do that anymore. Like friend wise, I don't. That's why I'm doing it for Patreon. Like to know and to meet new people inside of that and ask questions about them. And what I really want to do, I was going to do it for like a Christmas present, but I'll probably wait. I want to do one with my dad and my mom. Not for public release, for me. Like,
yeah, I did that with my puppo.
Did you?
Yeah, but then I did publicly release it because it was so interesting about the war.
Yeah, which I understand, but I want it for me, and I want it for my kids. I want to do like a 2-3 hour podcast with them both and ask them about things that I don't even know about their lives, and things that maybe I did know but I forgot, and I always have it, and that way the kids will always have it. So, and just to interview my dad, once you get him speaking, like when you first meet him, you think like he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. But like who's your dad? Tom Danino. But then you start going like,
he's your daddy.
Hey, listen, I got kids. At least I think. Anyway.
Oh my God, do you think he has kids?
Who knows with that guy? Probably not. But I mean, not that they can prove.
No, I always, not to be extremely morbid, but one of the things I always tell people when they talk to me about their parents is that the one thing that I wish I did was ask less questions about me, like, what do you want for my life, and what do you see me doing, and ask more questions about them, or specifically about my mom, because that's the kind of stuff when somebody's gone, you can't make it up in your head. Like, you can predict what they would have wanted for you. You can't know what their second grade teacher was like. Like, that's stuff you cannot figure out without them.
But you can't beat yourself up over that either.
Oh, completely.
It's like when you get older, that's when your brain matures to where you can think that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I just like that idea because I think that so often with our parents, it just because of the nature of how a parent, you ask questions about you. You know, like,
Yeah.
or even when I would call them and be like, what was I like when I was a kid? It's like, who gives a shit? What were you like when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's ultimately what I want to do. And that's why I thought of it this morning, because we had the one tier that we had on Patreon was like, you could do a podcast with me for an hour. But I was like, and I did that with somebody, and it was fun. But I was like, yeah, but wouldn't it be more interesting if like I got to know these people in the one-on-one style interview? Because I always put them, when I put them on the channel, a lot of the one-on-ones, even with people like big celebrities, they don't always do very well.
Yeah. Right.
And it's just but I love doing them, and I love talking to people, so I thought that would be an interesting tier.
Why do you want to not do it with friends anymore? What happened?
I just don't. Well, one of the reasons for having it on actual YouTube is that the honest answer is it doesn't pull, and like this is a different time in my life where this is, as much as like it's fun. That's the one reason. I had a dinner with Andrew Freed last night, our buddy who does
REXMD.
I mean, everything basically.
Yeah,
everything. Chef's Table. He's doing the new show with Dan Levy coming out.
What's the new Dan Levy show?
He's got a show
Scripted or non-scripted?
Non-scripted. It's on HBO Max. It's shoot. Put me on the spot and I forgot the name of it. But
wow, Andrew, he doesn't even know your show. This is so
I knew Dan Levy was in it. But anyway, I was talking to Andrew like last night, and I was just being in a better spot, doing the stuff that I really like doing, like how much fun Brett and I had, like riding the high off that. Not just the fact that we got a big name in here, but like we put a lot of work into this, and we were trying, and everything revolves around the algorithm and the idea. Like it's a
business.
It's a business, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out clip outs. Right, but clip outs back in Collider were massive for us. Clip outs would be, you'd put a clip out, like if I would have put some of the clip outs that I put out for Diego's interview on Collider back in the day, they would have done big numbers. I used to do clip outs on the Big Thing clip outs, they ate shit. I did clip outs on Diego yesterday, ate shit.
On shorts or legit?
No, clip outs. Because shorts I'm still doing, shorts are different. Shorts, I'm finding success on TikTok. I'm finding success on Instagram.
But financially, they just don't work. Right?
Not yet. Yeah. But I wanted to do, and it also not a big subscriber driver yet, unless in a different way. If you pop on Shorts for YouTube, it helps you out for your other short form content.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Greg about that, and he was telling me, like, because World Girls does a ton of shorts and it gained us subscribers.
Yeah.
It doubled us, but it doesn't help our long form.
Not yet.
It does help our short form.
Yes.
But apparently in January they're switching the algorithm.
January and February. February, apparently you're going to be able to get paid on shorts more too, because if you do, like Chris Van Vliet.
I saw that. Unbelievable.
So Chris Van Vliet has like 8 million views on like this video that he has with John Cena. 8 million views, and I think he made what, 67 cents or something.
Oh wow,
yeah,
like
and
crazy low.
And if that would have been a 1.5 or 2 minute video on YouTube that would not upload it as a short, he would have made a significant amount on AdSense. But so they're changing that up in February, but it's just the clip outs. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do clip outs because I think people will want to see parts of the interview. The interview itself did pretty well.
Good.
But the clip outs, I'm like, I don't know if people are seeing it. I don't know if people maybe watch the interview, but it really isn't just about the subscribers that saw it, because you hope that the subscribers will watch the whole interview. It's the people who are searching for certain things, see Diego Luna pop up, like other like Campy does clip outs on his shows, and they do fucking great. Like and the algorithm favors those things. The algorithm.
Are you consistent?
With clip outs? No, not as much, and I think that's probably absolutely could be it. I've been more consistent with shorts now, and they've been getting better. But like, if I was ranking the short form content of how it does the best, it's right now. Strangely enough, when I started doing short form, it was Instagram was number 1, and then Facebook was 2, TikTok was 3, and then YouTube was 3, and then TikTok was 4. Now TikTok's probably number 1. Because I've been doing consistently. I posted my freaking Avatar review. I thought it was going to get like, I don't know, 5,000 views. It's got 786,000. I have no idea how that algorithm works. I have no idea.
It's crazy. This is probably an off-air conversation, but Kristian, why don't you have an intern?
Well, right now,
he does.
Well, so first of all, Brett helps out tremendously around the studio.
Absolutely.
I mean, but as far as I have people helping out with short form content,
Yeah, but we're coming up on January,
Yeah.
which means a new semester. Kids get school credit for it.
Yeah.
You have a lot to offer somebody. You should have an intern.
Well, so two reasons. One, a lot of times you just paid internships and my budget just isn't there
No,
yet.
they're not. They get school
I
credit.
know, but I know, but I just don't. I don't like not paying people. That's part one. Part two is it's my.
Think about what they're getting out of it.
I know. I guess I would have to
And then
know.
if they're great, then you hire them afterwards.
They're going to be swimming in farts.
Yeah.
And
I think I'd have to know the person too. I'd have to know them.
Interview them.
I know, but it's my the difference is that this is my residence.
Yeah.
You know, and I really have to know.
Completely.
So-
You could also have, with the new culture, people don't even come in. You could have somebody across the country doing clip outs for you. You could be doing Zoom meetings with them. You could be doing.
I mean, the PLD helps out tremendously. I wouldn't. He's not an intern. He's
Right,
he's
he
someone
works.
he works for me. Yeah, but for certain.
Are you applying for the job?
No.
No. Oh.
I can't get school credit, so that's.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's something to think about. But
I think it would be tremendously helpful. And the good thing about them is that they're young and
Yeah.
they can be like, this is what's working with this demo. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
you know that the email for this channel now is going to get a whole bunch of those because of you today, right?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, look, maybe we find somebody. That's how we found RB3.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro.
RB3 wrote RB3. Do you know what RB3 did? RB3 wrote me when I was trying to take all the old, because when we shot at the Toad Hop studio, it was before YouTube. It was really posting like a lot of long form stuff. So our episodes were not on YouTube. They were on like this system that they had, and it wasn't. I think I couldn't put them on YouTube, but there was access to them on their website. So RB3 wrote to me because I had mentioned it on some show, and RB3 goes, "Hey," and I think he was like 19 or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. And he's like, I can take each of those episodes and I could send them to you, and if you want. And he did the whole library of
So great.
of the three. And I was like, this guy's great. So I remember when we were looking for another intern for Schmoes, I remember saying we gotta talk to this guy, man. He's amazing. And then when he showed up, Ken always tells the story. He showed up in like a suit to RB.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I can't picture him in a suit.
He can really style
No, for
himself
sure.
too, but it's not his first thing. He's got he's more of a director and he's got that style. But when we went to he looked slick when we went to I took him to the Black Panther premiere, and I was like, man, styling next to RB3.
That's
awesome.
so great.
But okay, look, sometimes your confidence is just not there. We get it. You go into the bedroom, you're like, I don't know. You too nervous? Maybe. Had too much to drink? Could be. There's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift into drive when you need it the most. But listen, have no fear. REXMD is here. They are spreading cheer even when you've had too many beers. So REXMD is an FDA-approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored this episode to help you always be prepared. REXMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all the men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. So everybody knows you're in that. You go out. You have a couple drinks. I've told the Transformers story. You had a couple drinks. You're like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And this is supposed to be the big night, and it's not the big night because you just can't get going. Well, not anymore. REXMD. Everybody wishes you had that at some point. They make the whole process simple. There's no need to jump through a bunch of hoops to set up an embarrassing doctor's appointment to get your medication. Just a few clicks of a button. You talk to a medical professional, you create a personalized plan, and you get the products discreetly shipped straight to your door within 2 days. That's it. REXMD just doesn't have ED medication. REXMD's other medications help sexual health, hair growth, pain relief, and sleep aid. REXMD has already helped over 300,000 guys gain confidence as quickly and conveniently as they are there to help you. So act now. Take advantage of their best deal yet by heading to rexmd.com/bigthing. That's our exclusive deal, and that's going to save you up to 90% off. 90% off when you only pay $2 per dosage. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. So that's rexmd.com/bigthing. 90% off. Give the gift of pleasure this holiday season and do it with REXMD.
So great.
But anyway, let's get to some of this news here because now you don't want to do it. There's a lot of it.
Oh my God, I couldn't even help but speak
I know.
when you said this.
There's so much going on. There's so much going
Are
on.
you looking at his Twitter every day?
not every day.
Okay, I'm looking at his Twitter every day, Kristian.
So, but he's very active on Twitter, and I don't know if he should be anymore. And it's not because of anything he's saying.
I saw Mark Andreyko tweet out yesterday
What did
being
he say?
like, James Gunn, please, for the love of all of us, get off of Twitter.
He just doesn't need to be on it anymore. He just doesn't. I agree with Mark. It has nothing to do. He's just very active, and he likes to engage and stuff, and he likes to give answers, but he doesn't need to. Here's a few things. So, a few updates. This is from Dark Horizons, and I think it's probably from Garth, if I was to guess. Garth Franklin. He writes the majority of stuff over there.
Wow, that was so nerdy of you.
What? I know who it was.
Yeah, this is from Dark Horizons. I have to guess, probably Garth.
Well, no, the reason I say that he writes like 80%
Honestly,
of their
it's probably
stuff.
Garth.
It's probably Garth. Hey,
I better call the G-Man up right now. See what's going on.
More updates about the future of the DC universe have come in from DC Studios co-chief James Gunn. The news likely to calm the nerves of some Hollywood agents today. Whilst Henry Cavill won't be back as Superman, and we know Ben Affleck is done as Batman, the question remains about the rest of the actors involved. From Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and Jason Momoa's Aquaman to the various smaller characters of the prior films, including Gunn's own The Suicide Squad. The rumors recently sprang up suggesting that the only projects that Gunn previously helmed would keep their casts, while the rest would be overhauled for a clean slate. Gunn said on Twitter that the talk is nonsense. I keep seeing posts with this untrue theory. We're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. Gunn had also issued a statement addressing fan concerns over the direction of the DC universe, as well as the harassment that he and co-head Peter Safran have received online. Safran? I don't think Safran's getting any he's not even active on Twitter. Everyone's going after Gunn. There's no fire Peter Safran hashtag. But anyway, one of the things Peter and I were aware of when we took the job as heads of DC Studios was a certain minority of people online that could be uproarious and unkind, to say the least. Our choice for the DCU are based upon what we believe is the best for the story and best for the DC characters who have been around for nearly 85 years. Perhaps these choices are great, perhaps not, but they are made with sincere hearts and integrity and always with the story in mind. No one loves to be harassed or called names, but to be frank, we've been through significantly worse. Disrespectful outcry will never, ever affect our actions. We were aware that there would be a period of turbulence when we took this gig, and we knew we'd have to sometimes to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of the fractious nature of what came before us. But this means little to us in comparison to our jobs as artists and custodians in helping to create a wide and wonderful future of DC. Now, before I get to that, because we're going to address all this, something else that popped up right afterwards was this thing that then happened with Ray Fisher, which I will say this, and we can talk about it in a little bit. Like the stuff that Ray Fisher went through with weed and all that stuff. Like when he's out there talking about it, I was like, yeah, this is something he should be talking about. You should get to his side of the story. And I never really, responded on it because I thought he should fight his fight. I thought this was out of line. I did. I think that going after Gunn and especially the fact that he didn't have all the information. He's like, why are you deleting your tweets? James Gunn has said many times over, he has his auto deletes on his Twitter. It deletes after a certain amount of months. He wasn't deleting just Ray Fisher's. We have a tweet that he did from the Schmodown that will probably be deleted eventually as well too. This is my big problem with Twitter. I think that Ray Fisher, had he reached out to James Gunn, they could have had a conversation. But this is why I can't. I'm hoping every day that Twitter dies. I'm hoping that it dies because I fucking hate it, Roxy, and I'll go right back into this for a second. I fucking hate it. I want it to go away so bad because of this. It has ruined so many lives. It has destroyed, and not to say that there's not more apps that will do the same thing and they'll find other ways, but it is the first way that people attack one another. They go after each other. They try to destroy one another. They never have conversations. Just people inside of our circle, when we've seen during Schmodown stuff, it's like instead of having conversations with somebody, they go, oh yeah, well I don't like what you said. I'm going to fucking try to ruin you right now. And they don't have conversations. They don't talk anymore. And the same thing here. It's like, have a conversation with the person. Talk.
The app is legitimately how many people are able to get out news and information, and especially like outside of this country, it is so wildly valuable for people who are unable to speak about what is going on in their countries.
There's other apps.
Hive, man.
Yeah.
Hive.
but then it would be the exact same thing. I mean, I think that there are qualms with, I have qualms with Twitter for sure. However, in general, I think the positive outweighs the negative significantly.
Yeah, I feel the exact opposite. I think it is a cesspool.
I don't think I've never seen anybody get more hate on Twitter than me, ever. I still am like,
it's a garbage bag full of shit and piss, and it needs to go away. I will do such a happy dance when that fucking piece of shit is gone. I hate it so much, and it won't go away. I know that it won't. It'll be there forever.
So you're rooting for Elon.
I'm rooting for him to be a disaster. Absolutely. When every time he does something stupid, I go, keep going.
Is he going to step down? Because he said he
No,
would.
he's not going to step down.
Kristian
Come on.
Harloff becomes the biggest Elon Musk.
Get him,
It's the idea. Like the idea. It's like maybe this was his plan. Maybe this is his plan all along. Just to run it into the ground. $70 billion. Just to run it. He shits that on a Tuesday. By the way,
was it 40 billion? How much?
Whatever it was, he shits that on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, right, yeah.
And the guy's worth like $600 billion.
Yeah.
He shits that on a Tuesday. But either way, I hate it. I cannot stand it. And no, I would not shed a tear if it goes away. It's a piece of shit. So people go, why don't you get off of it? Because
you have to.
Because I use it.
Yeah.
I use it, and I'll use it. But I'm just saying, I'll use it every day, and I'll use it every day to get my stuff out. But like the fact that like
I've seen other things you use every day that you don't like.
I mean, that's probably the main one, to be honest, because like Instagram, I enjoy. I think it works well. The other ones work well. I don't see, like, there are ways people are still mean to each other, but there's just something about it. Like, people try to destroy each other on there, like destroy each other.
Yeah,
and it's like it's
disgustingly toxic.
Horrible
at times.
It's horrible, and I'm talking about more so like even people we know, like people won't just have a conversation. It's like, hey, you got an issue with me? Let's talk. Let's have a conversation on the phone. Let's have a no. I'm tweeting after you. I'm going after you.
Yeah,
I'm going to tweet you because I can. It's like, what are you doing?
But I'm conflicted about this Ray Fisher Gunn situation. I am. Did you looked at the tweets?
I looked at the tweets and I said, and Gunn had apologized for what because I guess what happened was that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that what the situation was that it was Alan Tudyk who had kind of said, this is not the Joss Whedon that I know, or something along the lines too, and Gunn liked it, right? And then Gunn looked at it and said, look, I didn't know the full situation. I shouldn't have liked the tweet. I apologize. And then
Ray tweeted at him and said, James Gunn, why did you like this tweet?
Yeah, and then he apologized for it, and he realized, he's like, well, I didn't look into it enough, and I apologized for it. And then Ray then looked at it and said, oh, you deleted it, so you must.
Ray then tweeted, thank you, James.
Right,
Gunn.
I'm saying it now, but saying then looking at, he said, thank you, James, for apologizing for it. But now instead of reaching out to him and saying, hey, why did you delete that tweet? And him going, well, I have auto deletes.
Yeah,
and then he would understand it. He goes and blasts.
Would he have understood it? I think some people have issues. Okay. I really, really like James Gunn, and I really, really like Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
I don't
mind Ray Fisher at all, yeah.
I don't know either of them personally. I have interviewed Ray. We
Yeah.
did an hour sit down with him on DC Movie News, and he was lovely, but obviously I don't know him as a person whatsoever. And his... so I can't pretend to know the details of the situation as he spoke about it.
100%.
If you don't know the details, don't speak on it.
Right.
However, that's what we do on these shows. We speculate and we talk about what we think is going on.
I love how ROXY does damage control before making a statement that might get hate from people. That's from you having years and years of people tagging you like, okay, this is just my opinion.
Well, she still gets stuff for the Snyder Cut 4 years later.
Unbelievable. And it's a bummer. I wish I had done my makeup better that day. Like, if you're gonna play that footage over and over again, it does not exist. Like, could we have had a better angle? Could it have been cuter?
Hilarious.
Like, I'm gonna go everywhere. Kind of look like.
Yeah.
I'm so bummed.
What you were
I'm
saying.
like, ugh. And I'm making this face. Like, I really look like a Grinch in that thing. But what I was saying is that
I'm listening.
I do feel like at this point, Ray is so disappointed. I can't speak for him. It seems as if he is so fucking disappointed in the way that Warner Brothers and DC has handled this. And while you are saying, of course, Ray could have reached out to James Gunn, has James Gunn not reached out to Ray Fisher after taking over DC?
Well, I mean, he probably look. One of these things is that you think about everything.
You can say both, right?
Yeah, but there's so. But maybe it was on his agenda. But he's doing so much right now.
Absolutely, and I'm not blaming James Gunn.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it is a two-way street, and James Gunn, knowing every person who has any grasp on DC, knows that Ray Fisher has been tweeting out A over E for 3 years,
right?
Or however long it's been. If I'm James Gunn, you know, coming into this, Ray Fisher's going to say something. You know he has thoughts on this.
Yeah, but he was going after him because of a deleted tweet that he didn't delete. It was an auto tweet that he said on his thing.
I think that some people would say that it's the same thing. Obviously James Gunn has auto deletes because of what happened to him.
Of course,
with Disney, which I completely understand. I have zero issue with having auto deletes. I probably should set up auto deletes. Things don't age well. Sometimes you say something and then you're like, fuck, that wasn't cute. Whatever. Totally get it. But I think that Ray Fisher right now, he's owed apologies he's never received. I'm not talking about specifically from James Gunn, but now James Gunn is the figurehead there and has never reached out to him yet. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't have a good relationship. And as you saw, when James Gunn did previously say, I'm sorry, Ray, I shouldn't have liked that, Ray said, thank you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even so, which I don't, maybe he should have reached out, but it still doesn't mean, it's just this, it's still this generation in general, not just Ray Fisher, everybody.
I'm with you. The tweeting it instead
just
of texting
decides to
tweet.
tweet. And it's like, hey, listen, James Gunn hasn't mentioned anything about me yet. I made this pretty publicly clear. You know, like, I'm going to call my agent, I'm going to call my manager and let them know, or I'm going to send an email, I got to talk to this guy because it's weighing on me and I got to find out, why was that tweet deleted? Like, what's going on here? Can I get some information? Instead, goes to Twitter. And that's what everybody does. They go to Twitter. Hey, I'm going to really fuck somebody up. I'm going to Twitter. And it's like, it's bullshit. And it's like, and I'm also with you. I don't know anything about that situation. Yeah. So from what it seems like, he got fucked over bad. And I think it's terrible. And it's terrible. And I've always said, I don't really like, I feel he should get justice for it. They should find out, they should work. The guy's, what they did with him, he's like one of the standouts in the Snyder Cut. Like a standout. He's so good at that story. And I wish that they would find a way to work with him. But and it's not really about Ray Fisher in general. It's just
the culture in general.
It's just such a reflection of what people do where they want to go after somebody and I'm going to get you on Twitter. And I fucking hate it. I hope it goes away. I hate it.
It sucks. And nothing for nothing. I have years of Twitter history. I've never once had a qualm with somebody and taken it to Twitter first.
I know you, but you're a minority.
And same with you. So I'm not here looking at what Ray did and saying, that was the best method. Great job. Right. You're getting what you want.
But you understand why he's upset. I think
he's just fucking like.
I get it. I understand. I understand that he's upset. I understand he's upset. I'm just more so in the fact that like you said, for me, if I got an issue with somebody, I'm calling them. Mm-hmm. If I have an issue with somebody and I want to get to the bottom of something, I talk to them. Yeah. Because I can't go, and even DMs and you can't talk to someone. Have a conversation with someone because all it's going to do is fester up inside of you and you're just going to fucking hate that person or you're going to hate someone in general and you're just going to do stuff. And it's also not good business-wise. It's just not good business-wise in general. And I'm not speaking...
business-wise, I think he's really put himself in a not great position.
But I think he knows that. I'm not even speaking specifically on him. I'm speaking about specifically in general because I think that Ray Fisher decided to fight the fight and that's what he's going all in on the fight.
And some people are supporting that and will hire him
right. And I think he'll work and he'll get other stuff and he should. He's a really good actor. And I think that and I don't have an issue with him at all, to be honest. And I think that I don't know enough about the situation to talk about that particular thing. I just think he's more that what he did in this particular circumstance is a representation of what I dislike about Twitter, what I dislike about social media. So that's where that came from. And James Gunn responded to that and inside of that story again, to get to that, back to Gunn. Ray Fisher came to many people's attention for his portrayal of superhero Cyborg. I think this is from Garth also, let me say. Yeah, this is Garth.
Oh, G-Man.
Yeah, the G-Man. Yeah. Actor Ray Fisher came to many people's attention for his portrayal of superhero Cyborg in Zack Snyder's Justice League, along with his fearlessness for calling out members of the old Warner Brothers Pictures regime on social media. With many of the executives Fisher called out now gone from the company, in the wake of the Discovery buyout, he recently set his sights on the most public face of DC Studios, filmmaker James Gunn. Gunn took to Twitter to address the backlash he's received from the fans over the decisions that he and Peter Safran are making in regards to DC Universe. In the wake of that, Fisher responded by recalling a tweet. I don't know why I got short of breath all of a sudden, where Gunn seemingly showed support for Joss Whedon after Fisher accused Whedon of creating a toxic work environment on the set of Justice League. Fisher says in a tweet posted yesterday, the way James Gunn uses fake grace on Twitter is funny. Him going to bat for Whedon, pseudo-apologizing for it, and then deleting it immediately before taking his DC job is not. Refusing to apologize for toxic behavior seems to be a job requirement for WB and DC. That's kind of what I meant. Like there was no conversation. Had he done a little research on it, maybe he would have found out about the auto deletes. He wasn't deleting that because he got the job at DC. Fisher included screenshots, one in which Gunn apologizes to him for liking a tweet that defended Whedon and another that showed the tweet had now been deleted. Fisher has been reminded by fans that in the wake of Gunn's firing from Guardians over the past offensive tweets, Gunn now has an auto-delete feature on his Twitter account where older tweets get eliminated. Gunn has also replied to Fisher, saying, all my tweets automatically delete every few months, Ray. It has nothing to do with my tweets to you. Fisher has been most recently shooting Snyder's two-part Rebel Moon, feature at Netflix, and earlier this year made his Broadway debut in a stage adaptation of August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. Like I said, I like Ray Fisher. I think that he is I think he's a good actor. I think he'll be around for a little bit. For a while. I think that my particular beef is what we just talked about that you're in agreement with.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just like just talk to people.
The Alan Tudyk tweet, which is not what this is about though, is also like equally as more problematic, because this is one of my issues with Twitter is like, just because you don't have the same experience as somebody else
doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
And like, especially as Ray Fisher is specifically speaking on race. He's specifically speaking on race. For Alan Tudyk to be like, I can't picture this. It's like
he's sticking up for his friend, which he shouldn't be doing at a time like that, because you're right. He doesn't know the same way we're talking about it. We don't know the details, and we're also not a black man who has gone through these circumstances and gone through these things, that we don't have that experience, and he certainly doesn't as a close white man, friend of Joss Whedon. So I agree. He shouldn't have tweeted that out either.
Yeah, it's just you don't know. Like, there was a guest, and
tweets, get rid of them.
It's crazy. There was a guest that I specifically brought into a show that we used to do a while ago, and was very friendly with and had zero bad experiences with. It came out like a few months after that he was blasted. There was 14 women who said that he had sexually assaulted them, and you don't even know who I'm talking about.
Not yet.
So it was like everywhere, and people kept tagging me, being like, "What about you? What about you? What about you?" And I was very.
Did that happen? You mean?
And I was so weary to speak on my experience, because I had a great experience with him, but I didn't want to even put that out in the world, because that has nothing to do with these other women. Right. There's nothing to do with them.
Right. And it's just like same. So I had for like a couple examples, like one. I had on Jason Mitchell, which there was a bunch of stuff that happened with him afterwards. I had on Blake Jenner, which I didn't know anything like the recent. And the other thing is, I don't pay attention enough to a lot of the stories that are going out too. That's not taking away from anything that happened.
There's so many stories.
There's so many stories now that happen, and like I was reposting one-on-one interviews not too long ago, and I was like, well, which one should I post? And I posted all the ones that I had, and I put Blake Jenner's name on there, and they're like, don't you dare put that on there. Aren't you sensitive? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I didn't do the research. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. And like, I did a thing on like Busey the other day, like where I said, because the joke was this. The joke was that because Elon Musk said, I had this poll, and by the end of it, should I stay as CEO in Twitter? And if not, I will step down. I will abide by the polls. And I said, here's my vote for the next CEO of Twitter. And I put a picture of Garrett Busey, and I said, and on it, I'm like, if it is yes, and people retweet this, I will tell Mr. Busey that he is indeed the CEO of Twitter. And people are like, well, didn't you know that he assaulted somebody at a Comic-Con? I'm like, no. I just know that it's Gary Busey, and he's a fucking lunatic, and I wasn't serious anyway, and that you could put the most horrendous person in the world in there. That was the joke. It's putting the most horrendous person that you could find in there and do it. But again, it's also why I was like, I don't even bother. Like, and as much as I complain about it all the time, it's like the Twitter. I'm like, just don't even try to crack jokes, because people, no matter what you're gonna do, they're gonna try to get you. Totally. Everybody's going to try to get you.
But that's the good part about Twitter, is the cracking jokes.
But then someone tries to get you.
I know. This James Gunn situation. I put out what I thought was a very funny tweet. I think got 1,000 likes. Some people agreed with me. Very, very popular. And it was like, Warner Brothers is the worst ex that you could have in this situation. They want you back.
I saw that. It was Henry Cavill. Yeah, it was
whatever.
Good. It was good.
It was no if anything, I am a WB girl. You know that. And partially
unless it's a Snyder, you don't think it exists.
Does not exist.
They really got you for that one.
They got me. But I just like, really was making a joke. No judgment. I think that James Gunn right now is truly doing what he thinks is right for the future of DC. Why would he do it if he didn't? Actually completely ditching that and coming back to what he's doing for a second. Hysterical though. Last big thing we're talking, and you were like, could keep Superman, cut the rest of them. And he's like, could cut Superman and keep the rest of them.
Yeah, but that's not what it seems like. So that. I'm glad that you went in that direction, because that's ultimately what we should talk about here, and probably what the whole.
Now it's time for me to jump in.
Yeah, so you should jump in. But
Superman, go to the verbiage of the actual thing. I was kind of confused on the Suicide Squad part of it.
I talked about this in depth on Campy Show the other day, so I know enough about it that I can talk about. But before we do, I do want to tell you guys also. You want to stay up. You want to get working in the morning. Trade coffee, everybody. I love Trade coffee. So good, so good, so good, and it smells amazing in here. I mean, we've been with them now for a little bit, and like we made sure that we're always brewing Trade coffee, because it's also just really, really good coffee. And the holidays are approaching. It's time to start thinking about what you're going to give your loved ones for that personal gift. If you're looking for something to get even the hardest person to shop for, look no further and get a personalized coffee subscription from Trade Coffee. People can be like, what's this? And you're going to love it. And because if they love drinking coffee every morning, like, come on, who doesn't? Besides Roxy. You have to check out Trade Coffee. Trade makes it super easy to get better coffee and delivered fresh from the finest local roasters around the country. So a lot of people, you just go and get your coffee from the grocery store and you drink the same coffee every day. Try something better. It's Trade Coffee. Trade makes it easy to get fresh roast delivered to your doorstep from local roasters around the country. It's a subscription service, which is awesome. It makes it so simple to discover new coffees and make your best cup of coffee at home every day. Trade partners with the nation's top-rated independent roasters to send you coffee that they know that you're going to love, fresh to your home and on your preferred schedule. Whether you already know what you like, or if you're new to specialty coffee and you need some help, Trade Coffee makes it easy and it's convenient to discover new coffee. We have been getting it every month, and the stuff comes in, like the dark roast that they have. Oh, it's just so good. It's got the, and Brett, you can't get enough of it.
Oh yeah, brewed it up every morning. When Diego came in, we wanted to have like a nice aroma to the place.
It's better than anything else. It really is. And it really is the perfect gift for loved ones. They make it easy with their digital gifting options for last-minute shoppers also. Treat yourself or the coffee lover in your life with Trade Coffee. Right now, Trade is going to offer you guys, listen to this, $30 off of your subscription and access to a limited-time holiday special at drinktrade.com/bigthing. Drinktrade.com/bigthing. Get $30 off of your subscription. Drinktrade.com/bigthing. So good. Roxy, you know a lot of coffee drinkers in your life?
Literally everybody.
You got a gift for them? How's Hanukkah going?
Hanukkah's good.
Happy Hanukkah. Thank you for joining us on Hanukkah.
Yeah, you're welcome. See? It's good. I did. I've done a couple different Hanukkah parties.
Nice.
I've lit the candles every night. Yeah. Some people wish me happy Hanukkah.
I did.
I know. You sent me a text.
I did.
I didn't know that was a thing.
You didn't know Hanukkah was a thing?
No, I didn't know you. I didn't know a goy could say that. No, I don't know. I'm just not you. I don't know.
You're just a terrible friend.
I'm a terrible friend.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Wow.
Have you wished me Merry
that
Christmas?
Was so offensive.
It was super. Tweet at him. Tweet at him. Destroy him.
Wait,
I was
give me
laughing.
one second.
Tweet at him. Ruin his life. I'll fire him. I'll
was
fire you right
at
now.
That Kristian, because he's like, hey, how's Hanukkah going? He doesn't know what
Check
goes
your
on during
Twitter.
Hanukkah.
No. I don't. But I know that people are celebrating. Like last night, I said,
I will remember now.
It's like Christmas in terms of you can send people texts for 8 different days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that part's not like Christmas because you only send texts on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, right? You don't do the like 25 days of Christmas.
No. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
So you could say it at any point. But yeah, I think it's really nice if you guys are at home and you have any Jewish friends. I think it's really nice to send them a happy Hanukkah text because this country does not acknowledge Hanukkah and we work through the entire holiday, which is totally fine. It's not our biggest holiday, but the least that people can do is say like happy Hanukkah. Because imagine if you're going to work on Christmas and nobody acknowledges it's Christmas and you're like, do I exist? Like,
Happy H, right?
Yeah,
Happy H.
Sure, give me that H.
Yeah.
Give me that H.
Hey.
So speaking of, give me.
How's your CH?
Yeah, give me.
It's
Let's go back to the story first, and then I want to get this TV picks. So.
Okay, the phrasing on it was confusing to me, Kristian, when he says like accept the Suicide Squad.
So it's the way that he worded it that was very interesting, right? He said the rumor was that, as you said, that everyone was like, okay, well, look, you're getting rid of all of these DC characters that came essentially in the Snyderverse, but you're keeping the Suicide Squad. That's the rumor, and Matt Reeves' Batman, right? Because there was a rumor that he was going to put Matt Reeves' Batman in the DCU, and he debunked that. He said no. And then they're like, okay, well, then it looks like everybody's going to go except the Suicide Squad. He's like, no, that's not the case. Not everyone's going to go except the Suicide Squad. He didn't say the Suicide Squad are being recast also. He just said that's not true that everyone else. So the question then remains, does that mean that there are certain characters that will remain? Could it be Jason Momoa that stays as Aquaman? Could it be Zach Levi that stays as Shazam? Could Gal Gadot still return?
So you saw The Rock's comment? You saw The Rock put out a statement?
Just that's what I was going to should we read that first before we get into this?
Yeah, because that gives me questions about what you're saying right now.
So let's see, because I haven't seen the full thing, but let's talk about Black Adam, and then The Rock had something that came out. He's another one that's been just like on the defense the whole entire time recently, talking about certain things, and
if you're going to address things on Twitter, this is kind of how to do it.
Yeah, his status has been all over the place recently, though. Where is, let's see, I just saw this whole thing. So Johnson responds, it should be in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Issues a statement on Black Adam 2. And this is from, I don't know if you know it, Garth Franklin wrote this one. I told you, right?
G-Man?
So the G-Man.
Oh.
He writes like, I mean, they should give him steak. If he doesn't have if Garth Franklin doesn't have a piece
Probably Garth.
of Dark Horizons, he should. He literally writes every article for them. He's got to own Dark Horizons.
Artie Franks.
This site's been up forever. This is where
Get
Ellis.
Garth on the show.
We should. He doesn't know who we are. All right.
G-Man.
The G-Man.
G-Man.
All right, listen. The G-Man writes this. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe has certainly changed. Garth Franklin's going to start getting tweets from our fans. The G-Man. He's going to be, who the hell's calling me G-Man? The hierarchy of power in the DC universe has certainly changed, but maybe not in the way that actor Dwayne Johnson intended. The Rock has issued a statement about his future DC anti-hero Black Adam following a meeting with DC Studios co-chief James Gunn. The wrestler-turned-actor spent 15 years trying to get a film adaptation of the Black Adam comic made and finally achieved that this year. Now, in a lengthy post, Johnson says the first Black Adam film will not be the first chapter of storytelling. He confirms any plans for a direct sequel have been halted and will not be moving forward anytime soon. Okay. So, however, Johnson adds that DC and his production company 7 Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways that Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. That leaves the door open for Johnson's potential screen return down the line, but when is anyone's guess? It's certainly a long walk back from Johnson's previously touted plans to develop several DC Universe titles, including a potential Black Adam vs. Cavill Superman film. The statement reads as follows. My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC Universe. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and 7 Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. The comments come as Gunn himself has also shot down reports of a potential recasting of Wonder Woman, responding on Instagram via Digital Spy to a fan commenting about saying, I'm not sure where you're getting that we booted Gal. Gunn has responded to this statement release saying, love The Rock, and I'm always excited to see what he and 7 Bucks do next. Can't wait to collaborate soon. We expect to hear more about the future of the DC universe as early as next month. Okay, so this is there's so much, and it's so wildly confusing, but not to anyone's fault, because there's so much that they can say right now, and there's so much that they cannot say right now.
And also, they've admitted, which I appreciate, they don't know everything yet.
Right,
they haven't made all the.
They're
decisions
making their
yet.
plans. Yeah. So what it seems like after a statement like this, because there were so many questions, and one of the questions being, well, if it's not going to be a complete reboot, right, then who stays, right? Because if it is, because we, as you said last week, we said, well, look, if they get rid of Henry Cavill, then they're going to get rid of everybody, because it seems like Henry Cavill is the one that everyone wants back, and that's the guy they cut. Now, one of the things that they could say is this. The big plan is to eventually get to a World's Finest, and that's like the big kind of like, you know, the big movie that they want to get with Batman and Superman and all that. And in order to do that, leading up to a place. Now, Henry Cavill is 40 years old. right? And they want to do like a 10-year plan. He'd be a 50-year-old Superman. Now, it's not to say he couldn't do it, because you even look at like Robert Downey Jr., who started at 40 at Iron Man, and maybe a little even older. But from what James Gunn had said, they wanted to explore Superman's earlier life. Now, I wish that Cavill would have stayed, because I wanted to see what he could do. But I don't say, oh man, I'm not watching this now, because because I'm curious of what the plans are. Now, they can make this movie, and I could hate it.
Yeah.
And I could say, they should have just kept Cavill.
What movie are you talking about?
The Superman, whatever the new
whatever Superman.
The way
They
that
already did in Smallville. Give me an old Superman.
give me an old Superman. No, but they got Gunn, and Gunn's writing it, right? And I think that's the thing. I want to judge it after I see it. I want to look at it and see it. Like, I don't want to just judge it, because I was bummed that Cavill's not coming back. I was bummed, but I said, all right, let's see. I don't think that the hashtags of getting rid of people and this, you don't know what they're doing yet. It's like it's like if you vote somebody into, like, you voted for somebody to come into, and people are going to go, well, I didn't vote for James Gunn, but I'm just using the analogy.
But public perception was very strong.
It was when he came in, and so he comes in, and it's like, if whatever the let's say person of power that comes into any government, right? And you're like, whether it's a governor, a president, a mayor, whoever it is, you're like, well, let's see what they ran on these certain things that they said, platforms of what they were going to do. Well, what are they going to do? And within not even a month of their reign, you're like, get rid of them. They had no chance to do anything yet.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, again, Twitter was if you look at the majority of the stuff that Gunn's getting, where's it coming from? Twitter.
Yeah, because
God,
that's where people have a voice. I think there's a difference between you being disappointed and people being disappointed, which is understandable. People like Henry Cavill, and they wanted to see the Superman, and people being entitled.
Yeah, sure.
It's really gross to feel like you sitting at home on your couch are owed a Henry Cavill Superman movie. That's fucking weird.
Right.
That's fucking weird. And
you can be disappointed.
Yeah, of course. Right. You could sit there and think, wow, if I was James Gunn, I think I would have probably tried to make it work. Right. But you're not.
And you're not in the room.
You're not in the room. You're not
right. You're not having the conversations that's happening. You don't see what he's seeing. The guy has made so much money on Guardians.
And you guys like him.
Right.
And you like his work, most of you, and you, me, whoever. But this is what I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm a little confused on those words that he said, that we're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. So Black Adam, The Rock, he just said that they're going to work together to see if there can be where the Black Adam fits in the multiverse, is essentially what he said. He said, utilize in future DC multiverse chapters. I wonder if that is what Gunn is referring to when he's saying we're not recasting everybody. They have no intention on recasting a Black Adam. They're going to use him. They're just not going to bring in the character Black Adam unless it's in the multiverse.
Well, I mean, there's also the other side of it too, where, like, I look at the Patty Jenkins story, right? Mm-hmm. And the Patty Jenkins story was, and I don't know where it ultimately landed because there were so many different rumors there too. But the way that I got it was that eventually they have a plan of what they want to do with Wonder Woman. The plan that Patty Jenkins was writing was part of the old regime and everything too. And they presented this doesn't actually fit in, and she didn't feel like she wanted to go that particular route, so she's moving on from it. In no report, in any of those reports, did it say that they were killing Wonder Woman off altogether, and in no reports did it ever say that Gal Gadot was not cast. Henry Cavill had a meeting where he was clearly told they're not moving forward, and he posted about it, and that was it. Gal Gadot has not done that.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck has not done that.
This
Jason
article
Momoa
said
has not
that Affleck was out, though.
This report said that the Affleck scene from Aquaman was cut.
Oh,
that's what it said, because remember Momoa posted that Ben's back and he's coming back.
But G-Man just said no Affleck.
Right, which I think the reason why is that they want to be less confusing with it. And I can understand that what they want to do, and they don't want to get people's hopes up with Ben Affleck's Batman, but Gunn has also said we want Ben to direct a DC project. So
just trying to get all the old guys out.
That's what it is. Go ahead.
I bet everybody else, I mean, not that, they're all working in other gigs, a lot of these people, so that they're not shaking in their boots. But as soon as you hear Cavill's gone, everybody
Probably
in
like,
that property is kind of like, okay,
what do we do?
You took Superman, and I'm wondering how some of the even smaller characters are like, okay, are they gonna just totally?
And imagine being Ezra Miller right now. Ezra's like, oh, has Henry Cavill been a complete saint to you guys?
Yeah.
And you cut him?
That's going to be the biggest thing now because
No, they have to cut
they
Ezra
have
Miller.
to.
I
They
mean,
have
you cannot
to.
keep them.
You-
Or you look like a toad.
now, and I think that Gunn and Ms. Miller were friendly. So if James Gunn does not cut Ezra Miller, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
You got to
I
get rid
think
of
that
Ezra Miller.
James Gunn is he has his finger on the pulse. I don't see a world in which James Gunn moves forward with Barry Allen as a character. I think he's going to go with Wally West if he is creating a Justice League. And so I think that it's going to be a non-issue because he's not recasting Ezra Miller. He's using a different character. And I think that's what he's talking about. I'm not recasting. I think he's being very choosy with his words.
Campy brought this up on his show, and I agree 100%. You know who gets screwed the most out of that Flash movie?
Ooh, what's her name? Clercy.
Andy Muschietti, the director.
Why?
Puts all this effort into
Yeah.
it. They were waiting forever to get the Flash movie off of
and
the ground.
the DP and the gaffer.
Yeah,
and
but
the,
Muschietti. But remember though, like anybody who worked on the movie, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Muschietti in general, because they took so long to try to get this movie off the ground, and he finally did it. And if you listen to all of the rumors about this film, it's supposedly incredible. So if he made this great Flash movie and people don't go see it because of one, Ezra Miller.
I think everybody's going to see it. I don't
do
think
too.
Andy's going to get screwed at all.
Well,
I think
in the long run, you mean you think you have and do more stuff?
Yeah.
I hope that that's true, and I hope that the movie delivers. I just think that there are some people who are going, well, how does this play in, and how will any of these movies, whether it's Shazam, will any of this play in to the DCU? It's interesting, but anyway, like this is like I said, I didn't know what the hell we were gonna like, how much of it we were gonna cover, and we clearly did the whole show basically on it. And I think that it makes sense because it's just there's just so much, and this is an ongoing thing that we're going to be talking about on this show and other shows for sure. But before we move on, everybody, I wanted to tell you guys about Roxy's TV show segment, man. This is massive. This 1923. Now, before Roxy even gets into 1923, it's broken records. It has it's big budget on it, obviously. But Roxy, tell me about 1923.
So 1923 had its premiere. I obviously am a massive fan of Yellowstone and of Taylor's work in general. It, at the very least, always looks incredible, like these vast, sprawling landscapes that you just could stare at until you die. I saw the pilot for this. It's interesting.
Oh.
It's interesting in a way that, like, I'm actually not sure how it all ties together yet. There's multiple different stories going on in this pilot that one of them is so gruesome and violent.
I watched it. I saw it.
Okay. Yeah. The you know what I'm talking about, that with the hands.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And the squirrel.
What's that?
It's the hands and the squirrel.
The hands and the squirrel.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, minus the squirrel part totally. That I think that this show has legs. It is building. I think it's going to be excellent. But for a pilot, I think they are asking a lot of their audience to be like, there's a lot for you to get invested in, and also it's going to make you a little queasy.
Well, yeah, but they did the job. I'll tell you that, because it was the highest rated by far, the highest rated premiere Paramount Plus has had in and Tulsa King did great. Well,
it's got two massive stars.
Yeah,
absolutely. And this is the point that I made the other day, was that the difference where, and we've talked about it on this show, on Collider many times, the movie star today does not sell the tickets in the theater, right? There's very few. Like even Mission Impossible, that brand, Tom Cruise, absolutely, and even Top Gun, but it was Top Gun, and it was the brand itself, and it was Mission Impossible that sells that. Tom Cruise is still a movie star.
He didn't even get nominated for a Globe for that,
which is silly. But Tom Cruise, though, it used to be back in the day where, well, Tom Cruise, new Tom Cruise movie's coming out, I'm going to go see it. The new Will Smith movie's coming out, I'm going to go see it. Like, that stuff doesn't happen that much anymore. And even The Rock, who was supposed to be like the big, they didn't carry too much over in Black Adam. My point with all of that is this: the movie star, however, can sell a TV show on streaming.
Because it will make you watch it.
Because you're already subscribed to it.
Yeah.
If you're already subscribed to it, and maybe you're not, but but that's the one that you were on the fence about Paramount Plus, but you love Harrison Ford, you love Helen Mirren. That's how I got Sadie to watch it. Sadie had no idea what it was, but she didn't watch Yellowstone. She didn't watch 1883, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, either what, she didn't watch any of that stuff.
It's not just the star, it's the creators. Now on TV, people casually will be like, oh, I love J.J. Abrams shows, or oh, I love Damon Lindelof, or oh, I love Taylor Sheridan.
Right,
you know?
and they're franchising Yellowstone,
Yeah.
That's part of it. And when you put in more like this, because I've watched. So apparently, because I was with you, I stopped trying to watch Yellowstone because it was in 75 different places. But apparently it's all on Peacock, is what I was told. So I'm probably...
Not the new episodes.
The new episodes are on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird. So, but either way, you can watch it.
Actually, they're not. They're on Paramount app.
All right. Well, either way, you gotta find it somehow. But the other show I didn't watch was Sam Elliott, but this was the one I'm gonna watch week to week.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And I think that's the other point that I made. This is why every streaming service should go week to week.
Oh, you have to. I could not have. You need to have the water cooler conversation.
Yep.
I do think that there is merit in dropping 3 episodes or 2 episodes at once, and then week to week get people in. Agreed. But if you just drop everything at once now, it doesn't stick with me same way.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
It's gone, because the thing is, you could put out look at Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things was, this particular season was almost set up like massive movies, right? The way that they were set up. But it was in the conversation for longer than most drops, for sure. And also because they did it in chunks. But if you put Stranger Things out week to week, that show is going to be talked about all year.
Yesterday, I was at an entertainment space in LA, and there was a big billboard that was rotating, and it was like, Stranger Things going down as one of the best shows of all time. And I was sitting there looking at it thinking, like, I don't even hear anybody talking about it being one of the best shows of this year anymore.
Because it's out of the conversation. When you bring it up, you go, "Oh yeah, it was a phenomenal season." But like, you're not talking about it. You're talking about these other shows that like are going week to week. And like, I've forgotten about Stranger Things, and it's going to be in my top 2 or 3 of the year for sure. But I forgot about it. So I was going through my list. I'm like, oh. This and that, because I just watched Severance, and I think that Severance is something you watch week to week. Although I binged it because I had just missed it. But
that's on you, though.
That's on me. But either way, so I think that is beneficial to 1923. But we digress.
I'm looking forward to more of this.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm curious kind of how everything merges.
Same. All right, so the next one.
I was shocked when I saw this on my Netflix queue. So I don't typically watch my next guest, David Letterman's show, not for no reason other than there's just a lot of interview shows. But he had Zelensky on, and not only did he have Zelensky on, he went to Kiev to interview him in an underground train station with a live audience.
Wow.
In Ukraine, he had to take like a 16-hour train, a flight, a bus. He had to and you watch him travel there. This interview is wild. If you have any interest in what Zelensky's day-to-day life looks like he goes through what he's doing what he's doing to protect Ukraine, and what he's doing with his family, and also
how long is the interview, Sir Rox?
Like an hour and 15 or something, maybe a little longer than that. And also they go to this like comedy club because Zelensky's also a stand-up. Yeah. Not anymore, but he's a comedian. And so they're watching stand-up. Zelensky's cracking jokes with him, but like jokes about war. Fascinating. Wow. Fascinating.
Okay. So you highly recommend it.
If you watch interviews at all, or you care about what's going on in Ukraine, or you're interested in his life, this is like must-watch TV.
All right.
I haven't heard anybody watching it or talking about it.
It's a great interview. I watched a lot of them. Not this one particularly, but I know his his style. The style he's doing with this. It's different than he has more time to like really get deep with people and stuff. And the Kim Kardashian one was quite interesting.
Wow.
Really.
I didn't check it out.
Yeah, you should see it.
All right, let's see. Next one.
I wanted to put this on because, again, what we were just talking about with Stranger Things, shows that kind of come and go and people don't talk about it. This show is called The Great. I don't know many people watching it, but I do know that Brett is one of them. And as I'm just thinking about the shows that I'm looking forward to next year, this show should be coming out early on-ish in 2023.
Okay.
Nicholas Hoult, Elle Fanning, 2 incredible performers. Everybody on the show is a great actor, but this show is, if you're looking for something fucking hysterical, this show is hysterical. Like one of the best comedies that's on, and I think because it's a period piece, people are kind of deterred by this.
Right.
But I checked out that show Dickinson, and nothing against Dickinson, but everybody raved about that show, and nobody talked about this show, and this show is, to me, significantly better.
Okay, so that's great. And that's
So
on Hulu.
good. Yeah, it's
Okay.
on Hulu.
All right,
Excellent.
next one.
So you guys know I've been on a stand-up comedy tear, and Sam Morril is somebody who is on my radar. He's on my TikTok all the time, probably because I'm on Jewish TikTok, so he's always popping up. So I decided when Netflix recommended Same Time Tomorrow to me, which is his special, to check it out. It's from this year. It's really, really funny. I'm watching so much stand-up for no reason other than I need to laugh right now. And I'm only recommending to you guys the ones that like make me laugh out loud. Really good. It's very tight. He's up and coming. I feel like people don't know him as much. And if you're looking for somebody who he's poignant, but he's not like too political.
Yeah.
It's like kind of just funny.
Yeah. Did you watch Sebastian's yet?
No, I hear
Oh,
it's so good.
Okay. All right. Let's
I
see.
hear it was excellent.
Yeah, I watched the beginning of it. It was pretty good.
Okay, well,
All right.
check this one out, and I'll check out Sebastian's.
Is that the right show?
No, what is this?
Tomorrow? You said tomorrow.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's something on there said tomorrow.
See, is this like when you did Wednesday?
It said tomorrow.
No, Same Time Tomorrow. What is? Yeah. So okay, Brett.
Tell me
please
about tomorrow. What is
yeah.
about tomorrow?
Oh,
Brett's
well,
watched this one.
Tomorrow, it's kind of it's a spy thriller.
Right.
This is obviously it's a foreign show, but
Right.
so
It's
you have to-
cosplayers with the Matrix?
Yeah, but you don't want to. I would say definitely sub, not dubbed on this
Okay,
one.
okay.
And it's really the twists in this you don't see coming.
Oh.
Right.
And
Stallone cameo, apparently?
yeah, Stone cameo, which is, but then him like, and he again, you have to sub him.
Okay.
Because you know
Because
you
it's
can't
Stallone,
understand
right.
it.
But what's the whole thing about the elephant and the cheetah? What's that all about?
Well, you know that one I'll save. I don't want to spoil that
All right,
one.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Next one.
I told you guys to watch this, and now the whole thing has dropped. Too Hot to Handle is like the best thing we could do in 2022 is make television like this. TV that is hot people who cannot fuck.
Oh, right, that's this show.
It is
Okay.
just the dumbest premise ever, and it makes for the best tension. And some of them actually end up falling in love, and it's wild. Like I can't believe somebody sat down and was like, okay, we're gonna make a show. Just everybody's super hot. We're gonna tell them they're going there to bone. Once they get there, they can't
Crazy,
bone,
yeah.
and then they get money if they don't bone. And then the kids are so horny that they're like, but we must bone. I don't care. And like every time you have sex, you lose $10,000.
Can you smash off in the bathroom?
No, it is recording everything.
No, but no. But can you?
No, can't jerk off.
Can't do
nothing.
any of that.
Oh.
Can't,
that's a problem.
Nothing. Can't nothing.
That's a problem.
The problem.
Oh, yeah,
for-
that's a problem.
It's a problem for all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay, well that's a problem.
And then when any of them do hook up and lose money for everybody else, they get like berated. I mean,
Oh.
people are like,
You're out.
"How
Damn,
dare you,
stupid asshole."
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So let's see. So we got
it's all out.
Paramount. Paramount. Yeah, perfect. 1923. You got Too Hot to Handle. Sam Morril, Same Time Tomorrow. Great. And my next guest with David Letterman, and of course,
And of course,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So make sure.
What's the tagline on tomorrow?
Oh, why put off today what you can get done tomorrow?
That's right. That's right.
And I show up and it's hey, do you want to be here tomorrow? It was the zebra and the elephant.
You're a wizard, Harry. What?
All right. That's it. That's our show. Thank you guys for joining us here today. Got a lot into that DC stuff, man, and it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. So make sure you check out Brett Sheridan and Mr. Wiggly. Check out Roxy Stryer, not only at Roxy Stryer, but check her out on The World Girls. Roxy is here every week with her TV picks, so check out. By the way, when you check out some of those picks, make sure you let us know exactly which ones you liked, and if you've been checking out some of her stuff, what that she's recommended, what you like the best. Once again, as I mentioned with those interviews, guys, patreon.com/thebigthing. Join us today. It's going to start that tier up in January. It's going to be 5 spots. So hopefully you join us over there for that. Thank you to Trade Coffee. And then what else, man? Oh, we got the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. It's very, very important. Very important. Merch, Sith Council, show some class.
The Top Gun guy?
The Top Gun guy. It's the Flirt and Flowers, Capes and Cowls, the big thing, and more. So get yourself one of those for Christmas. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow for Capes and Cowls. And again, please, if you haven't checked out the Diego Luna interview, please do so. But for myself and Brett and Roxy, this is the show. We enjoyed being here with you. I hope you enjoyed being here with us. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.